The Ben Davis and Kelly K Show podcast on demand.
I'm going to be honest. We're going to keep him anonymous. And the reason he is worried about his parents coming together after 20-some years for his wedding.
It's understandable.
It is understandable.
We have microphones and lots of opinions. This is Free Therapy with the Ben Davis and Kelly K Show.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, well, first off, thank you for allowing us to contact you on this. It's kind of a wild story here. So go ahead and walk us through what you wrote us.
Well, my parents really, they never really got along all that well. And when I was a baby, they had like a really bad divorce. It was it was not a good divorce. They were arguing over everything. And, well, when I was about 3, my dad actually kidnapped me. Yeah.
What?
For about 3 months.
He kidnapped you?
Yeah. Just took me one day. My mom thought I was with the sitter, and he came over and said that he needed to take me someplace, and the sitter thought it was okay. And so, yeah. So he just basically disappeared with me. And my mom couldn't, nobody could find us for like about 3 months.
Oh, my gosh.
Were you aware?
Yeah. I heard about it later, obviously, because, I was 3. I didn't know what was going on. I mean, I don't have any memory of anything.
Sure.
And, my dad, he was going through he had some problems back then. And he worked everything out. And since then, he's been a wonderful father. He and my mom still don't get along.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been really loving, and he's been so supportive of me. But, my mom obviously, is not going to let it go ever.
Oh,
and
right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I mean, now I'm 30, and I'm about to get married.
Okay.
And my mom still hates my dad to this day, and I don't blame her for that.
Sure.
I don't blame her for that at all.
Right.
But now, she expects, since she hates him, she wants me to hate him.
Oh.
And I don't want to be put in that position.
Right.
I mean, she still talks about this kidnapping. This happened like over 25 years ago. She still talks about it all the time, always brings it up, even with like friends of mine.
Oh. I mean, I can kind of understand why, but yeah, I get it. Like, you don't have any memory of it. It's kind of in the past. Everybody's fine now. You're kind of like, all right, let's move on.
Yeah, I mean, and I want to tell her that, I understand how she feels, and I don't blame her for that a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want her to stop, taking it out on me and forcing me to want to hate him too.
Right.
When I don't hate him.
Right.
So now, I'm going to get married, and obviously I want both of them to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But and they really don't communicate at all anymore. They basically communicate through me.
Yeah.
So now I'm really nervous because, obviously this is going to be a big day for me, but now I got to deal with having both of them there. And, I'm really nervous about how that's going to go.
Yeah, because now they haven't like seen or communicated with each other since they got divorced, like 20 some years ago, right?
Pretty much. There might have been a phone call every once in a while, but for the most part, no, they have not communicated with each other, really seen each other for years and years.
I mean, does that affect you at all? That knowing that he kidnapped you?
I know. I mean, I know that's rough. But, it happened a long time ago. I don't remember any of it. The only dad I know, from actual personal experience is the one that I have now. He's a great dad. He's just He's always been great for me. And, maybe just, he and my mom weren't a good match.
Yeah.
And maybe just getting away from that just helped him. And he's been, he has not, he's taken full responsibility for all that. He hasn't tried to blame anybody else. And, and he admitted that at that time he was going, not just the marriage, but he was going through a lot of problems. He is an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And he's been clean. He's been clean for about 25 years now.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you're worried about the drama at the wedding.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Well, we've got a bunch of people that are texting in. This is thank you for allowing us to talk to you about this, and hopefully,
Sure.
Some people can steer you in a direction to how to communicate your wedding and your desires for your wedding to your parents who have so much animosity built up between them that it could be
so they don't ruin it.
Weird and strange. Yeah.
Yes.
As Kelly says, so they don't ruin it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's all I want. I just want to enjoy the day, and I want them to be there. I just don't want, I just don't want to have to deal with all that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, and thank you again for allowing us to talk to you.
Sure. Thank you for letting me.
Wow. Some text messages rolling in. Yeah. Lisa's like, hey, kids don't get to pick their parents. Mom picked the dad. If she hates him, that's fine. But when dealing with their son, she has to put it aside. So yeah, and I think a lot of people are just like, your parents are grown-ups. They've got to be grown-ups about the whole situation and realize they're coming together for their son.
Yeah, Brandy says he needs to put his foot down with his mom and make ground rules for the wedding and tell both of them if they can't be quiet on his personal day, then they don't need to come. And he needs to tell his mom that if she keeps acting the way that she does, keeps talking, taking it out on him, then the tables are going to turn. If she's going to make him hate her, she needs to, seek some therapy and get over it.
Man, okay. So your texts and feedback at 502-571-9970.
Yeah, and as the mom, I get that that's a hard one to let go of.
Right.
When it comes to the animosity and the anger.
Yeah, so he's just kind of like, hey, how do I prepare for these two to be thrust back together for the first time at my wedding?
Since all this.
Yeah, exactly. So a bunch of text messages coming in at 502-571-9970. First, Graham, go ahead.
And he said they've had very little, interaction. I just wonder if he's, I don't know if he's articulate enough to write a letter or how long it is before the wedding, but, trying to make some kind of peace with her might be the key component that's missing. So. Oh,
yeah. Like maybe suggesting to the dad that he write a letter or make peace with the mom about what happened so long ago before the wedding.
Yeah.
Maybe that
might help.
A key.
We got a text from Kathy. I have a similar situation. My son's getting married next year. He doesn't know if his dad is going to show up. So sad. I pray he does. We were married for 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing is the parents have to realize that day is not about them.
Right.
It's about the son.
Yeah.
And they need to, again, be grown-ups, show up and support their son out of their love, their mutual. They have the same kind of love for their son. They need to realize that in common, put their stuff aside.
Yeah, for sure. So I got to be honest, like my parents had a bad divorce and I had the same type of worry when I was getting married, bringing them together. And just the awkwardness of kind of seeing both of them together in the same space for the first time in, over however many years. It was, over 10.
Trying to keep them separate. Did you have to try to keep them separate?
I did. I separated them, especially on the, rehearsal dinner. I separated them, on the table, on the opposite ends of the table. I kept them separate, in the church and stuff like that. And, I honestly, it was kind of awkward just because you almost had to feel at your own wedding like you were keeping them
more comfortable
than really enjoying your own moment. So hopefully he can communicate that to his parents and they can move forward. So, yeah, if you want to continue commenting, you can. It's up on the Facebook page at Ben and Kelly Show.